Good morning, students, or afternoon, or whatever time it happens to be when you're tuning into this. If you're getting this, I'm sending this out to the Edgenuity kids that I will be having in my grade book coming up. So, a few things I want to cover. A lot of times we'd have a meeting that was like 30 minutes long. I'm going to instead do this with a 10-minute screencast, but you need to watch the screencast and email me back at the end saying, watched it, I got it, I understand, something like that, and then we will load your class for the upcoming trimester. So a few things I want to say just to make sure it's clear, and I have to do this because Edgenuity has been a hot topic in our areas for the last probably 3 weeks. We have way too many people on the platform. Mr. Kid will have to pay $100 per person, and we're way over our limit. There's people trying to get in the class that can't. First thing I want to say is you're getting some advantage somehow by having this Edgenuity class. So although it's not always fun or entertaining, there's a reason you're taking it. That advantage is you. If you're credit deficient, you're taking it because we're nice enough not to make you go back as a junior and sit with the sophomores in class. Instead, we're letting you do this online. A lot of schools would say, too bad, you go to Reedsville. I'm sorry, you fail a class, you're going with the lower group, and most schools are like that. So we're letting you out of that. Some people, they're in a YA situation, and it allows them to finagle their schedule so they can work some during the school day. That's an advantage also. And some of other unique reasons for having this online thing. So to make it less painful for you, you get to take the online class. So it is an advantage. It is an advantage. So with that, I want to throw out a couple of things. In most cases, we built the class into your schedule. So say third hour is your Edgenuity senior social studies time, or 20th century American history time, or financial time, or whatever. The expectation is that you're spending 1 hour on those days doing that class. And if you do that, there should be no problem getting the class done. We've had students, and not real high students, be able to knock off these classes just by spending that time. And we know how much time you spent. There's no hiding that because it's all on the record of the Edgenuity website from the teacher end of it. So we know that right away. So anyway, being in my grade book as opposed to Mr. Slender's or Miss Ellenbecker's, they have a dedicated hour. If you're in my grade book, you're on your own. You're out in the world. You're in the library or wherever. But the expectation is you're doing it, and you're doing an hour a day. So rule number one is you can work ahead. You can get done with a, say, third try Edgenuity class by Easter if you want, and then you're just done. But you can't fall behind. You can't just slack and do other stuff or watch videos during that hour or something and then say, well, I was going to do that over break or something like that. You can work ahead. You can't work behind. And we give you some advantages. And the advantage not only of taking the class, but a lot of times we'll give you, and I'm going to show you this, we'll give you what I call the brilliant discount. The brilliant discount is really something that most schools would say we're nuts for doing. But anyway, what I mean by that is, say this is a class that Vince Whitman had recently. And normally these classes are set to be by the company. They're set to be maybe 60, 61 hours long. We try to set them to be about 52 or 53. That way, if you work an hour a day, you should get there. Okay. So by giving you that discount, by peeling off hours, this is what we do. I go into the system, or Mr. Slender goes into the system. We'll click a button, and boom, you saw those classes just now underneath culture. That just went away. So when that went away, that means that right here, 14 hours just came off of Vince's load. He doesn't have to do it anymore. So that's a sweet deal. He just got 14 hours free, basically, that he doesn't have to do. So we can do that with just about anyone. We could take all kinds of time off if we wanted. We could take this one off too, this one off too. All of a sudden, Vince has nothing to do. But what happens is, the reason I'm bringing this up is we give you guys a pretty good deal. Not only taking the class, if you're doing an hour a day and keeping up, but we give you the deal that we give you a little bit of a discount that's kids in Michigan or Valders who are using this don't get. So we give you some time, a little bit of less time. So what happens is, the first thing is, if you don't keep up, if you fall 10% behind, if you fall a little bit behind where you're supposed to be because you took Tuesday and Wednesday off or whatever, the first thing I do is undo the discount. Okay, so if he had the discount and he had this class is gray now, he doesn't have to do this gray stuff, right? Okay, I click this, now it's back on. Okay, now Vince does have to do that. and does have to do that one. So we can put these on, we can take them off, we can do whatever we want on these things. So if we're going to give you a 9-hour reduction, we can put that back on, and then you're doing the regular class like the rest of the world. So, and that happened to two of my guys last try. They got way behind. They weren't doing it. They were doing whatever they were doing during that hour, but they got way behind, and they lost the discount. So we will do that. The other thing that can happen if you don't keep up, if you're in a YA situation, you're working during the day, Miss Cundy checks on that stuff regularly, you can get that taken away. So just know you can work ahead, you can't work behind. Boy, the smartest thing to do is just jump on it right away and get that thing knocked off so you get extra free time. You get a deal that nobody else has. So that's one thing. Second thing I want to mention is I'm going to grade you pass, fail, unless you tell me otherwise during the first week of the class. If in the first week you say, nope, I want a letter grade, that's fine. I'll give you your percent and even add 2% to it and plug in the Skyward. But otherwise, I'll plan on doing a pass, fail, because that's how 90% of the people have wanted it in the past. So that's just a few things to know. I'm glancing here at my notes if I'm looking away from you. It is built into your schedule. It's an advantage. But those are the things I want you to know is you can work ahead. You can't work behind. If you ever have problems, technology problems, email me, Mr. Schlender, and Miss Ellenbecker at the same time. The first person will see it will somehow bail you out so you can move forward in your class. But you do need to email me back saying, I saw this, I got it, I understand I have to keep up, can't fall behind. And when you do that, I will load your class for the upcoming trimester. So if you have any questions, let me know. There's a couple of you who I will have to get usernames and passwords. I believe Najee and Alex right now, for the group that I'm talking to right now, are folks that haven't been on the platform. I'll have to get you usernames and passwords. Everyone else should be all right. But if you need something from me technology-wise, let me know. There are a couple of you guys who have to pay a little bit of money to take this class. That's just offset what the office pays. Get that done too before we load you for the first class. But there's only two of you, and you know who you are. So, but anyway, send me the email back. When the email comes back, I've watched this. I will load your class for the next trimester. Thank you. If you have any questions, you let me know.